What up, bros? Welcome to the All Bros podcast. I am Jonathan.
And I'm Caleb.
And Vic, would you like to introduce yourself?
Gosh damn it, Rose.
Sure.
What?
After.
I figured you guys were
Oh, it's after?
Whatever, just go.
Okay, no, should we restart?
No.
just
go.
Go ahead. Just go ahead and... Oh, too late. Oh, well.
Oh,
It's your show.
Just do it.
Okay, are you sure? Okay. We are a couple of aspiring filmmakers that love to watch and critique movies, but also enjoy a bit of the nerd life. This week on the podcast, we'll be talking about some news and pops. We got a couple of new movie lines coming out, as well as some being added to some lines. With Blu-Rays this week, we got a very awesome DC movie coming out that both Caleb and I really enjoyed. I don't know about what Victor thought, but once we get to that, we'll have him share his thoughts a little bit. And then with Through the Wall, we got our first tomato score and somewhat first reviews for Jon Favreau's The Lion King. And then this week's sneak peeks, we got our first trailer for Mulan, our second trailer for Dora the Explorer. Isn't it Dora the Lost City of Gold?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I want to say.
Pretty sure.
Come on, Caleb. It's not just Dora the Explorer.
Whatever. It's Dora.
Okay, good point. And then we got our second trailer, or our first official trailer, since the other one was a teaser, of Maleficent, the Mistress of Evil. And then we'll be going over the top 5 box office of this past week. And we finally came up with a name for it, thanks to Caleb. We're going to be calling it What's in the Box.
Dude, I'm so proud of that name.
That is pretty good. I like it. I love it. And then with our main event of the evening, with help from our friend Victor, we'll be breaking down Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, what do you guys say we get started?
Let's do it.
All right.
Go.
All right, so first up in pop news, we got some new Hocus Pocus pops coming out, which I'm really confused a little bit by this line, because they're, I guess, re-releasing the 3-pack that Spirit Halloween had last year.
I didn't think they were in a 3-pack.
They were online.
Oh.
So I guess they're releasing the 3-pack into, well, wait, no.
Yeah, they were single.
Oh yeah, they were single, but they were selling them as a 3 set, and you could save some money on the website.
Yeah, that's how pops work. You buy
but you
3 and then they're a set.
Okay,
these ones are coming in a 3-pack.
Okay, smartass. Okay, no, I'm saying if you bought the 3 at the same time in this certain bundle that Spirit Halloween had online, you saved even more money than you would have if you bought them in the store buying the 3. Does that make sense?
I feel like you overcomplicated that a little bit.
Well,
but sure.
I didn't.
So, if you buy them separately, they just give you a deal, or they knock up the price down or something for buying all of them?
Yes, but I feel like they knocked it down even more so if you bought them online. But then you had to pay for it when it came to shipping.
Yeah, so it kind of just evened out.
Yeah, exactly. In essence, you probably even paid more online. So I didn't think about them being I didn't think about them being in a 3-pack. Okay, that didn't click in my mind. Okay, I'm a little.
It says 3-pack on the damn picture.
Little slow. Okay. Okay. And then we got a movie moment, which I guess is going to Spencer's Gifts. I guess.
Spencer's.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I don't know if this is going to be online though, because I've never seen any pops in their store.
Ooh, that's true.
Yeah.
A movie moment from Hocus Pocus?
Yes, it's when the Sanderson sisters are standing around the cauldron. So.
Ah.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty bitchin' looking figure.
I really want it, but it's probably going to be $50.
Probably. It's probably going to be a little higher because it's coming from Spencer's.
That's true. Well, F my life. All right, next up, we got some new Nightmare Before Christmas pops coming out. We got, I don't even know some of these characters. We got Jack Skellington wearing a cool ass cape. Was that even in the movie?
I don't think he wore a cape in the movie.
Okay, it's like Jack Skellington dressed up like a vampire. Doesn't it look like that?
It very much does.
Okay. And then we got the I don't know what is that one?
I don't know the names of these characters, dude.
I'm gonna go with like the ocean monster. I don't know, or I don't know. I don't know these.
Is it the swamp monster thing?
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, that's what I meant. Swamp monster. And then like the little, it's I think it's okay. So I don't know how to explain this scene. You know, like that kind of like big kid.
The husky one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, remember like that mummy character that's always with him? Okay,
Right.
so they're releasing that.
Yeah.
Oh, the little mummy. Okay.
Yeah. And then one of the witches.
Cool.
Yeah. I kind of want the witch.
I'm good with none of them.
Wow. And then we got Jack Skellington holding his self-portrait. You remember that scene? Like when he basically draws another one, but he's dressed up as Santa Claus. Remember that scene?
Oh yeah.
And
And
then
he's like sitting in his chair.
Yeah, I guess. I guess it's gonna be where it's that, and then he comes with his house too.
Oh, that's cool.
That is really cool. And then I kind of want this really bad, but this is like the first 10-inch pop I've seen going to Walmart. We're getting a Oogie Boogie 10-inch. I like it.
Dude, his
like it
song
a
is like
lot.
the best.
In the movie?
Yeah.
Honestly, my favorite song from Nightmare Before Christmas is Kidnap the Sandy Claus.
Really?
Yeah,
Sounds
that's my
pretty
favorite
good.
song.
That's
I love
annoying.
that song. You're annoying.
I mean, I don't know that that's like the best one or my favorite, but I do like that song.
See, Vic gets it.
Whatever. Forget you guys.
And then we got some Pocket Pops coming out, as well as a Pop Pen. We got a Box Lunch exclusive Jack Skellington, where he just has his arm out. And then we got a Diamond collection. Oh my goodness, I just legit forgot this character's name. Oh, you're gonna reference fail me.
I was just about to ask if that counts as a reference back.
Oh, it totally does if he doesn't remember the name.
Ah, shit. Zero.
You got like 5
Damn
points.
it!
You forgot the dog's
Yeah, I
name?
did. I don't know why. I was thinking like Sparky, but that's Frankenweenie.
Goodness gracious.
Damn.
We're getting the Diamond collections. Oh my gosh, zero. I forgot it a second time. Zero Pocket Pop.
That's pretty cool. And his nose is a jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah. And then we'll be getting a Jack Skellington Pop Pen. So, yeah. And
Pretty
then
cool. I don't have any desire to collect any of the Nightmare Before Christmas.
the only ones that I really would have wanted, but I never got them. I'm hoping that they're not expensive. Is Shock, Lock, and Barrel.
Did they come in a 3-pack?
No, they were all single. You think they'd put them in a 3-pack, right?
You would think.
But no, they did not. All right, next up we got Big, which I think is a new line. I don't think they've ever made Big Pops. Let's see. First up we got the classic Tom Hanks on the piano. I really want that one.
We're getting a shit ton of Tom Hanks.
I'm okay
figures.
with that. I am okay with that. Considering he's my favorite actor. I get Tom Hanks in a huge suit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't remember him wearing a big suit.
I don't either. I haven't seen Big in years.
I haven't either. That's one you should do on your
Unless
show.
that's when he like first.
Wait, what?
With Victor. That's one you should do on your show.
Oh, you're saying
Yeah.
that we should review one? We should review Big on the show. Yeah, I can actually. That wouldn't be a bad idea. That's an old enough
Should
movie.
we
right?
maybe also Forrest Gump?
Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That'd be a good one too.
Hey.
that would be a good one.
And then we're getting a 6-inch Zoltar pop That looks pretty cool.
That one is pretty cool. Not one I think I'd get though.
You know, I don't know if these ones count or if they've already been out, but I saw some for The Office. They had some Office Pops.
That is true. Yeah, those are coming out.
I saw those. I think it was yesterday. It might have been last night that I saw those. They have like Michael Scott holding his World's Greatest Boss Cup. They had Kevin holding his pot of chili just before he. I don't know if you're Office fans, but like seeing those was really it was really cool because I just remembered that scene. I love that scene of Kevin. He's carrying like a pot of chili and he spills it all.
Come clean. I've never seen an episode of Office in my life.
I've seen a few. Did you see the one of Jim dressed up as Dwight?
You're saying a pop or
no,
the episode?
The pop.
That
they have the pop.
No,
they have a pop and it says Jim, but it looks exactly like Dwight.
Isn't that like a box lunch exclusive?
That's hilarious. Yeah, that's definitely from the show because he does that in an episode as a prank.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Okay, and then the last one from Big is I don't actually remember this scene. Do you? He's like dressed in a white suit.
I don't remember that scene either.
Okay, he's holding a banana, and I don't know what else. But it's a Target exclusive.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch Big.
Yeah, I gotta watch this movie again, because, yeah. And then next up with lines is one that Caleb's going to have to talk about, because I have never seen this movie, and that is Castaway.
You've never seen Castaway?
No.
Ooh, actually, I'm in that same boat, though. I've seen parts.
I bought it.
I haven't actually seen it all
I
the way
bought
through,
it, haven't watched it yet.
Okay, well, the first... Okay, I guess I'm talking about it. So the first Castaway Pop is the common, and it is like the bearded Tom Hanks with holding a spear with a fish on the end. And in the other hand is holding Wilson, his volleyball.
Right, the one he puts a face on it, right?
And so that's the common. The Target exclusive is probably him earlier on in the on the island. He has like the red, I think it's his shirt, has a red shirt wrapped around his head. His beard isn't like all the way grown out, and he's holding a spear with a crab on the end.
I think I like the common better.
I actually really like the common. I just like that Wilson's included in it.
Yeah, I do appreciate that.
You haven't even seen the movie. You don't fully appreciate Wilson.
Okay, but I do appreciate Tom Hanks very much. So
yeah, well, you can appreciate him all you want, but you're not going to appreciate the volleyball until you watch this movie.
Aye, aye, sir.
Mm-hmm. You're such an asshole.
I know I am. And then last up for Pops, we got our kind of first tease or like kind of leak of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. We got a Sith Trooper Pop coming out. It will first debut at this year's Comic-Con, but then it will be released later on. I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. It looks a little Lego-y.
It does. I mean, it's just a Stormtrooper red, but,
with some extra lines and whatnot. But
I mean, I hope it looks way cooler on screen, but I'm sure they'll probably showcase it in trailer too.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm not super excited for episode 9.
I'm stoked. Just because Ryan Johnson's not touching it. J.J. Abrams is back. I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to Blu-rays, we got Shazam coming out this week. Best Buy will be having a exclusive Steelbook. Target will be having an exclusive Digibook, which I will definitely be picking that up, even though they haven't announced the artwork yet. Kind of getting scared about that. It better be good. And then Walmart doesn't have anything. I believe so. I'm going to confirm that though really quickly. If you guys.
So did you? I really liked Shazam.
As did I.
What about? Did you see Shazam, Vic?
Now, it's funny that you guys mentioned that today because on the radio, have you guys heard of the Mandela effect?
Isn't that weird magician
Do you know what
dude?
the Mandela effect is?
No.
No. You don't know who Nelson Mandela is?
I know what it is,
not.
but can you remind me what it is?
So, just for Caleb's sake,
yeah,
I get
there we
you.
go.
So the Mandela effect is Nelson Mandela spent like 20 something odd years in prison, and so many people thought that he died in prison when he actually didn't. He was released, I want to say, like in the 90s, like in the early 90s, and he passed away after he was released from prison. And so the Mandela effect is basically like what it is your brain associates two things with each other. Like, could you describe the Monopoly Man to me, like without looking at a Monopoly figure or whatever?
The Monopoly Man?
Yeah, you know who the Monopoly Man is, right?
Yeah, I know who the Monopoly Man is. And I just realized who I was talking about. The Cabinero dude.
No.
Yeah, so he's
So,
like a bald dude with a big ass mustache.
Right. What else?
He wears a
top
suit.
hat.
Does he have what else? Does he have a monocle? Doesn't he have a
I
I
monocle?
think he has a monocle.
Yeah.
Yeah, big white mustache. He kind of has like a Pringle looking mustache.
See, he doesn't have the monocle, but the reason why you think about that is because your brain associates it with Planters, the Planters Peanut, who's also dressed very similar, but he's the one that has the monocle. Same thing with like, what is it, Jif peanut butter?
Yeah, I think
A lot of people call it Jiffy. Jif.
you're blowing my mind right now,
But
Victor.
I call it Jiffy.
Maybe I have it back. I might have it backwards, but so anyways, Shazam is one of those things where everybody's like saying that it was Sinbad, and then there's the one with Shaquille O'Neal as the genie, but one of them doesn't exist. Like one of those movies does not exist. So the speculation is that everybody remembers Sinbad being in a movie called Shazam, where he plays a genie, but it's Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay, now I'm remembering that movie.
So, anyways, it's just ironic that you guys bring this up or this movie up when I just heard this on the radio today.
Interesting.
Blew
Still
my
didn't
freaking
answer
mind.
our
But
question.
if it is the one with if it is the one with Shaquille O'Neal, I do remember it, but it's been
No,
years.
it's the one with Zachary Levi.
Oh, nope.
You haven't seen it?
Nope.
Wow.
Oh, you're talking about Shazam, like the recent DC movie. I'm thinking of like a very old ass movie. Never mind. No, I never saw it.
You should. It's really good.
Yeah.
I heard that, but the DC label is on it, so I'm just like,
I don't know. I think I liked it better than Aquaman.
I liked it a lot better than Aquaman.
And I've heard great things about both movies, which I wouldn't be opposed to seeing it if it's like, I don't know, if it ends up on Netflix where I don't, have to go out and pay for it or anything, or I'm just already sitting at home.
Considering
I'll
that
put it on.
Warner Brothers has their own streaming service now, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to end up on that.
Yeah, see, it's one of those movies where I really didn't see it being worth like not even like the $5 for me. But that was just me.
I think Warner.
I have heard good things
I
about it.
think you're gonna change your mind on that one a little bit once you see it.
Vic, Warner Brothers could have used your $5 because this movie bombed. It was a box office bomb, dude. It only grossed $300 million.
Oh shit!
Yeah. As much as people want to deny it, it was a bomb.
That sucks.
I know. Oh, it sucks. I hate it. Not the movie, just the situation.
Yeah. All
right. Next up, with Through the Wall. This morning, which this morning, the day that we are recording, which is
7-Eleven.
Yeah. Did anyone go out and get a Slurpee?
I did not, and I work down the street from a 7-Eleven.
Apparently they're doing it today and tomorrow.
Oh, what?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose of 7-Eleven?
I know, but I don't know. They're just doing it.
Okay. All right, well, today, 7-Eleven, the embargo was lifted for the new Lion King movie, and we got our Rotten Tomato score, and it actually went up from when I showed this to Caleb first. I think, what did I say, it was at 56?
Yeah.
It's now at 59, so it's almost fresh. So yeah, it's at a 59% with a total of 77 reviews.
Damn.
And the critics' consensus reads, though it can take pride in its visual achievements, this reimagined The Lion King is a by-the-numbers retelling that lacks the energy and heart that made the original so beloved, though for some fans that may just be enough.
Shit.
The best part...
Well, I listened to the soundtrack on Spotify today. I saw that it was up on Spotify.
What'd you think?
And I don't know that I like the music. I mean, granted, I'm listening to it out of context. Like, I listen to the big songs, like Can't Wait to Be King, Be Prepared,
Hakuna Matata.
Can You Feel the Love Tonight, Hakuna Matata. So I listen to the big ones. So in my head, I'm thinking of the cartoon, and I know, like, kind of like what you just read, I know what kind of energy, I can see the scene. This is a movie that, like, when I had my surgery for a hernia, like, I popped that movie in and I watched it all day. Like, I didn't get up at all to change the movie. I left it in and probably watched it a good 10 times in one day or whatever. That might be an exaggeration, but still.
Got good taste in movies.
That is my all-time favorite Disney movie, I'll be honest. But
excellent
like
choice.
I can see, like, how it's supposed to be. I can see the scene anyways, like how everything's going, and then I'm hearing the original song in my head, and as I'm hearing the music, I'm like, this is not it. But again, I'm sure it fits with the movie. So next Friday when I go see that movie, I'm sure I'll like the songs more. Once I see how it fits in with the movie itself.
When it comes to Hakuna Matata, I don't know. I'm really liking where Seth Rogen and what's his name, Billy Eichner, what they did with Timon and Pumbaa. I didn't mind it. I mean, I've heard they steal the movie. They're like the best, like what they add to the movie, which is mostly them because those two guys were able to ad lib a lot. So like they add a lot to the movie and they make it the most that it can be. But I mean, I've heard visually it's amazing. Like if you thought The Jungle Book was good, this movie will blow your freaking mind.
I'm wondering if this is going to like the same situation that Aladdin was in. Wait, is Aladdin fresh?
No, Aladdin's rotten.
Okay. So I wonder if it's in the same boat that Aladdin was in, where the audience score is a little higher.
Or like audience,
and I wonder if the critics are just being really harsh on the movie.
What? Because I watched IGN's review of it, and what they were saying is like they didn't mind that it was kind of like a beat by beat retelling. They feel like they added enough to make it a little original, and just how amazing the visuals look. Like how you can, like, it's amazing that it was filmed on a green screen or I think it's a blue screen that Jon Favreau uses. And like only like one shot was actually like was actually filmed on location. But they were keen to point out that just like the visuals alone make this worthy of retelling The Lion King.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Because I think IGN gave it an 8 out of 10.
That's not bad.
Although they gave movies I hate or I love like a 6 out of 10. So I'm like, I don't trust your opinion that much, IGN. Like I think they gave Child's Play a 6 out of 10.
What?
Yeah, but I mean, that's what Rotten Tomatoes gave it. They gave it like a 60%. So
we were a little nicer to it.
Yeah, I think we were very nice. Didn't we give it like an A- or like a B+? I think.
Child's Play?
Yeah.
The new one?
Yeah. Or
No, gave it a B.
Oh, it was a B. My bad.
What the hell is wrong with you? It wasn't
I don't know.
A movie.
I'm sorry. I have a soft spot for Chucky. Okay.
Yeah, I do too, but not that soft.
Dude, Child's Play 2 is an A+ movie for me. I'm kidding. It's more like an A-. B+.
I can give you a B+.
Okay.
Barely, but
Barely. Okay.
like it's Child's Play 2019 is, or what was it? We had a 83%.
Yeah.
I think the Child's Play 2 is like 85.
Can we meet at 86?
No, we can't. That's not the one we're breaking down.
Damn it.
You're trying to negotiate with me.
But it's one of my special skills.
All right. Continue on.
Yes, sir. All right. So I know Vic's checking it out next Friday. Are you gonna check it out? It's opening weekend.
Probably not opening weekend.
Wow. I'm offended. Disney needs your money.
Disney has all my money.
Mine too.
Disney, I think, has everybody's money.
True.
But they just own the world.
Yeah.
Anytime I buy Marvel shit, I'm giving money to Disney. So
No, you're mostly giving it to Funko, and then they the licensing fees are given a little bit to Disney.
then I'm still technically giving it to Disney.
All right,
so.
fine. All right, fine.
They're still getting a piece of that pie.
True. Okay, good point. All right, let's move on to this week's sneak peeks, where our first one we got is Mulan. Why
Crap.
is there no Mushu?
Yeah.
Right?
It doesn't feel right.
I mean, that alone should just like, I don't know. We should just move on to the next movie right there, or with the next clip. I mean, there's no Mushu. There's no point in the movie.
Well, Abu wasn't like a huge part in the original Aladdin, but they still kept him in the live-action movie.
How would you know?
Okay, shut up. You're an asshole. Knew that was coming.
But you don't get an opinion if you haven't seen the original.
Yeah, well, I have to side with Caleb on that one. But I mean, but he's right. Okay, Disney's making all of these live action films. Look at Beauty and the Beast. They made the freaking candles and the clock. They made Cogsworth. All those guys like move around. They could do that, but they can't figure out how to make a freaking little dragon.
I wonder if they're just going for a more realistic, or like a more realistic movie.
Either that. I'm hoping that they just wanted to see what kind of reaction they were going to be getting from the trailers that they put out. And then when the movie comes out itself, or shortly before the movie comes out, we're going to get one last trailer, and it's going to be like a quick little Mushu clip. Like just a quick, like not even a second of Mushu, but then in the movie he's actually in it. Kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like they're just hiding it. Because who doesn't like Mushu? He's probably the best part of that entire movie.
I don't know. I think Disney's like come out and said like, oh no, this is a completely different adaptation. I mean, they're not even putting in the music. So
it's not going to be a music.
Really?
I don't think so, from what I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't want to see this then. There's no point in me going to watch that.
I'm not super thrilled.
Here,
about
let me
that either.
confirm that there's not going to be music, because I don't want to like someone to point me out and be like, well, Rose was lying completely.
I'm totally quoting you on this.
Yeah, I know you are.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I understand that them wanting to do a more realistic adaptation, but if you're gonna throw the Disney name on Mulan, you kind of got to have the music and Mushu and all these other aspects, like even the cricket.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how well it's going to work out if they're going for a 100% like realistic adaptation.
I feel like that one's going to bomb.
Okay, so
Box office.
I think there will be some music in it, but it's definitely not going to be a musical. Yeah.
Okay. I can see that. Like it does have a very serious tone.
It does, but I don't know. Honestly, this is like the live action adaptation I'm least excited for.
I agree. So, yeah.
All right. Next up, we got our second trailer for Dora and the Lost City of Gold. I kind of enjoyed this trailer, just a little bit. At least the joke at the beginning. That was
the joke
funny.
at the beginning was pretty freaking hilarious.
Maybe that's the only part that I enjoyed.
I haven't seen this new trailer, but I'm still not too sold on watching a Dora movie, especially one with like the Nickelodeon name on it. Like the Nickelodeon movies, especially like live ones, like they're not really my favorite, even when I was a kid.
The last good one I can think of was the second live-action Ninja Turtles movie.
See, I mean,
that one I didn't think was great.
Really, I enjoyed.
Yeah, and even that's a stretch.
Yeah,
at least it felt more like the Turtles than the first one.
Fair, but just because it felt more like the Turtles in the first doesn't mean it still felt like the Turtles.
I don't care what you guys say; it's a guilty pleasure movie for me. I enjoy the hell out of it.
Well, I really like.
You have a lot of guilty pleasure.
Yeah, I have a lot. I really do.
I really like this trailer because it did show like a young Dora, and then she was eating some food, and then it said like, "Ooh, this is delicious," and then she's like, then she like looked off and says, "Can you say this?" And then like her family's just kind of like looking around, and then they're like, she'll grow out of this."
Yeah. It's just a phase. She'll grow out of this. See, that's funny. That's pretty damn funny that they address that. That's how the old show used to look. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So other than that, it was an okay trailer.
The animation on Swiper looked like shit.
It was a little rough.
Boots didn't look too bad, but yeah, Swiper did not look good.
Yeah. So not super thrilled with that one either.
Yeah.
I don't think any of these I'm very thrilled about.
I mean, I already have my number one. And then third, we got our second trailer, or first official trailer, for Maleficent, the Mistress of Evil.
I like this one a lot better than the first.
I do too. The only thing that I wish they would have added to this one is that I think cool line when Maleficent approaches Michelle Pfeiffer's character and she's just like, "Are you threatening me?" And she's just like, "Well, do you? Do what? Do you know? Or do you know better?"
She says, "If I didn't know any better, I'd say you were threatening me." And she says, "Do you?" And then she says, "Do I what? Do you know it? Do you know better?"
Yeah, thank you. I don't know. I love that clip.
That is a pretty badass line.
Yeah, right? So if they would have added that part of the previous trailer to this trailer as well, I would have liked this trailer a whole lot more.
Yeah. Like the only thing that this added for me was a little bit more context.
Yeah, it did.
To the story and why
you
this
can
is
understand
necessary.
why Maleficent. Yeah, you can understand why she's doing what she's doing.
Yeah. Other than that, I'm still not super thrilled.
It doesn't need a sequel.
No, it does not.
But welcome to Disney World.
That looks like it's more. This one looks like it's more the Sleeping Beauty like story or part of the story, whereas the first Maleficent was like how she came to be. You know what I mean?
Shit, that's a good point.
What?
No, he's saying like this is kind of this movie's more like Sleeping Beauty, whereas the first Maleficent was kind of like the Maleficent, just a Maleficent. This one's kind of
so it's just Maleficent, like how she became Maleficent herself, how she became the way she is. Whereas this one, it's kind of like the Sleeping Beauty story, but from Maleficent's perspective and her side of the story.
It's kind of like the live action. Sleeping Beauty,
and I think that's their way of kind of making it a little.
They went over that entire story in the first one.
They did. I don't remember the first Maleficent a lot.
Yeah, the first Maleficent is like they went over the whole Sleeping Beauty story from her perspective, and then it just kind of turned into like, Maleficent ended up falling in love with Aurora, and then like that's how like it ended with Aurora kind of uniting the kingdoms.
That's what it was.
And then this one is her getting married to Philip, and then like having to take on another kingdom and other bullshit.
Well, Caleb just proved us wrong, Vic. I'm sorry.
Yeah, whatever, man. Cool, thanks.
Yeah, so I'm not super excited about this.
I was for a minute.
I just came here for Spider-Man. Whatever, man.
All right, 1 out of 3 on these, or like rate them or great.
Dora number 1.
Honestly, I'm doing Dora too.
like which ones I'd want to see more?
Yeah, like
so
1 to 3.
out of these three, what's like? How do you order them?
Yeah.
So you're number 1.
Oh, jeez.
He's probably thinking, can I give them all last place?
I'd put Maleficent as probably my number 1. And then
Fair.
Yeah.
If I had to between the other two, because I think now that I know more about the Mulan thing and it not being like really a musical or whatever, like the other Disney movies have been, to me that whole thing is now just shit. But I would give that one number 2 and Dora 3.
Damn.
Oh. Well, I'd go a little opposite. I'd give Dora number 1, Maleficent. Actually,
I'd actually give Mulan.
I'm going to give Mulan
yeah,
number
me too.
2.
Yeah.
And then Maleficent.
Yeah, I'm the same
3.
order as Caleb.
Yeah, I started thinking about Maleficent a little harder. I was like, ugh.
Yeah. Same. As much as she's going to try, I don't know if Angelina Jolie can save that movie.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Sadly. Anyway.
All right, let's move on to our next segment, which is What's in the Box, where we go over the weekend box office that we had. The new additions to this weekend's box office were Spider-Man Far From Home and Midsommar, or Sumar. I don't know, how do you pronounce that? Midsommar?
I think it's summer.
It is summer? Okay.
Yeah, Midsummer.
Yeah.
Okay. Or whatever. Yeah.
Midsummer.
Yeah, whatever. So number 1 was Spider-Man Far From Home. Weekend gross was $92 million, but I believe its 3-day total was, I want to say it was actually, $185 million. So it's not bad.
Definitely not bad.
Yeah. Next up, we got Toy Story 4. That grossed $33 million. I really hope that, as much as like it didn't need to be made, I still enjoyed it, and I want it to make more money because it's not even made $700 million yet. And that makes me very sad.
I'm not 100% sure it's going to
make $1 billion.
Since we're on the topic,
I don't know.
Since it's kind of related to the topic, do you happen to know what the current number is for Spider-Man? For Far From Home?
No, but I can check really quick.
Because I did read something today that there is a deal kind of thing that Disney and Sony both have for it. And part of that deal was that Spider-Man had to basically get $1 billion. It had to reach $1 billion
for this movie to be considered successful.
Well, no. Otherwise, if it doesn't, then I think if I read it correctly or if I remember it correctly, I gotta really like limit down how many articles I read about these things. But I think it's that like Sony basically will kind of take over again with Spider-Man.
Oh hell no! No,
kinda
that
like
cannot happen.
Like with the movies, like all the movies and stuff, like where it's gonna go after this. Like they'll have
they can keep the Into the Spider-Verse stuff going, but no, they can't touch Tom Holland.
No,
or at least like completely.
And that was kind of what the article I think went on to or touched on a bit too, was that like Into the Spider-Verse was probably the best thing that they have produced so far as like Spider-Man
hands
films.
down.
But so part of that deal is that Far From Home has to reach $1 billion for Disney to keep that.
Well, so the good news is it hasn't. Well, it's been officially out a week, but it's already grossed $621 million.
Oh, thank goodness!
So I'm pretty sure that $1 million it's gonna happen. Billion, sorry.
Billion.
Thank you. I'm pretty sure $1 billion is going to happen, so I think we're
I'm
good.
sure it will too, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm hoping it does.
Yeah.
Goodness. If Toy Story is at what, 700?
Yeah.
And it's been out for how much longer? Like a week longer?
2 weeks.
2 weeks longer?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Spider-Man's going to have no issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
You had me worried there.
All right. In third place, we have Yesterday, which did anybody see that?
No, but I do. That is on my list. I want to see that.
That's on mine too. I've heard it's good.
Same.
That grossed $10 million. So not too bad. Yeah. Number 4, Annabelle Comes Home. I still want to see
That's also
that.
on my list.
Yeah, mine too. Because I enjoy.
Not even close to mine.
It better be better than The Nun, because I did not like The Nun at all.
See, I didn't see The Nun, but I heard that one was pretty eh.
Yeah, it was. It really wasn't that good.
Yeah.
Annabelle Comes Home grossed $9 million. Number 4, then number 5, we got Aladdin, which grossed $7 million.
Not bad.
And then the other new release for this week, Midsummer, grossed $6 million.
Keeping it to top 5, Rose.
Well, I'm just because it was the other new release this week, I wanted to point that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm not that stupid, okay? Gosh.
You sure?
Bitch, want to go?
All right.
Yeah. All right. What do you guys say we move on to our main event of the evening?
I say
Let's
let's
do
do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Time for the main event. Let's play game.
All right. So this week with our main event, with help from Victor, we'll be breaking down Spider-Man: Far From Home, which Caleb and I saw with our buddy Christian on Tuesday, the 9th, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the 9th. When did you go see it, Victor?
I saw it opening day and then the Saturday that followed it. It's opening. So
Damn.
Yeah, so we also asked a question of the week that no one frickin' answered.
well, I
Not
just
even
didn't
you, Vic?
answer because I was gonna be on. I knew I was gonna be on the show.
Okay, that's
So
fair.
I figured I was gonna be on here. I'll just answer it anyway.
Yeah.
Good point.
So our question was, what is your favorite Spider-Man movie? And if you haven't seen a Spider-Man movie, what's your favorite suit? And I opened that up to video games and comics.
Okay, first of all, if you haven't seen at least one Spider-Man movie, are you
I
even
know.
human?
I'm just saying if.
Okay.
Seriously.
It's just an if. So.
I mean, some
Victor.
people haven't seen the original Aladdin, but
Okay, whoa. Okay.
So
We're throwing fist on this episode. Okay.
so so back to the main event. You know, it's funny. Because I did, like I said, I read the question, but I wasn't going to answer it because I knew I was going to be on here anyways. But just before I went to go watch the movie, I was over at this bar that I go to, and somebody asked me what my favorite Spider-Man movie was. And I told them to wait. I have to wait till I see this one, so that way I could have seen all the Spider-Man movies. And right now, as it stands, I'm giving it to Far From Home.
Wow.
I think Spider-Man 2 still might be in my
top.
top.
I think it still is, but I don't know. Far From Home is so damn close.
I was gonna say that comes with some contingencies because, like, I really like this one, and the only reason why I think it got to me was because there's 22 other films that tie. Okay, not 22, but within the last, like, I don't know, however many. Let's see, Infinity War, Civil War. So there's at least 3 other films with him that tie into it, and especially like Endgame. You know what I mean? Like, it ties to Endgame where it kind of gets you in the jellies. So I mean, you know, I think that's why it's such a good movie to me. I do though like actually the very first one with Tobey Maguire. I think that's a really good story, and I like Green Goblin as a villain in that one.
Willem Dafoe was amazing.
Yeah, Willem
Oh
Dafoe
my
is
gosh.
phenomenal.
Oh, that man
So-
can do no wrong.
So I really like the story and the acting in the first one with Tobey Maguire. However, after that, I feel like it kind of started going downhill. But
Even with
as
Alfred
it stands,
Molina as Doc Ock?
I mean,
Yeah, but Doc Ock, dude.
I know. No, don't get me wrong. I like Doc. I like the villains that they've thrown in on that one with all the Tobey Maguire movies. But
I didn't like Venom.
Yeah, let's
no,
not
they
talk
could have
about
done. Yeah, they could have done something better with him. But you know what I mean. I don't know. I just feel like, I mean, after a while, you started having these actors like wanting more money and all this stuff. So it's like, I don't know. It just wasn't all there for me. I still enjoyed them. Don't get me wrong. I still enjoyed those movies, but I think that this movie has a lot more tied to it, which is why it's one of my favorites, or is my favorite.
Dude, him saying that, just how much I love Tom Holland. One of his movies, I can't decide between Far From Home or Homecoming, might actually be my number one favorite Spider-Man film.
Really?
Because I just love him so much as Spider-Man.
He is an amazing Spider-Man.
Like,
He is.
Puns. Anyway, so let's see just how much we liked him by breaking down this movie. So you pull up that story thing.
I'm
So
on
we,
it.
if you're
I'll
new
make it
to
easy
our,
for you guys. 100%. There it is. A+.
I like it.
No
All right,
bias
if you're
whatsoever.
new to our- Okay, if you're new to our breakdown system, we split the movie into, I want to say, 8 different categories. So first we break down the story, then we talk about the writing, the acting, which we're going to be talking about the main 6 people that were in it. Then character development, we are only going to focus on the main person that we felt had the most growth. The music, the effects, the costumes, and then an overall genre grade, which we decided was a superhero action movie. So, let's start off with story. So, Rose is going to be reading us so spoiler.
Yeah, huge spoiler warning right here.
Yeah.
All right. So, story time with Rose. Here we go. In Extenco, I don't know. I'm already messing up. Is that how you say it?
What now? Extenco, Mexico.
Okay. Nick Fury and Mariah Hill investigate an unnatural storm and encounter the Earth Elemental. A superpowered man, Quentin Beck, arrives to fight the creature. In New York City, the Midtown School of Science and Technology restarts its academic year to accommodate the students who were among those resurrected in the blip 8 months prior. So, I really want to quickly talk about this. So, Kevin Feige came out and said the snap is when everyone disappeared. The blip is when everyone came back. So,
Yep.
Just want to clarify that.
In the most epic way possible.
Yeah. Dude, just watching all those other students like disappear, and then when they all like come back, and like everything's just like so
Yeah, in the
jumbled
middle
and
of like a
everything, they're-
basketball game too.
Yeah, it was so funny.
Dude, I laughed my ass off when the kid with the tuba got hit in the face with a
Right.
basketball.
All right. The school organizes a 2-week summer field trip to Europe, where Peter Parker, still distraught over Tony Stark's death, plans to confess his growing feelings for classmate MJ and avoid heroics. At a fundraiser for the homeless coordinated by his Aunt May, Parker is forewarned by Happy Hogan that he will be contacted by Fury, but Parker chooses to ignore the call. Parker leaves after being overwhelmed by questions about Stark. Okay, with this scene, did anyone else, the CGI on the Iron Spider's head looked way off?
Yeah.
Yes.
The body looked way too big for the head.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But also with this, like the effects in this weren't super bad. There were like points.
That
here
was
and
like
there.
the only big thing I had a problem with. The only other one I had a big problem with is when it's just Peter swinging, and he's not in his Spidey suit or anything. I could see a little bit of CGI, but other than that, like CGI was pretty damn good in this movie.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was. I really liked that scene when he's talking to the homeless.
Yeah.
Or with like doing the thing with his aunt, with how awkward he was when he was asked to talk.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, thanks for, like, really quiet, just, thanks for having me. I love that, because that's exactly how, like,
a 16-year-old would act.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Parker and his friends travel to Venice, where the water elemental proceeds to wreak havoc on the city. Beck arrives and destroys the creature, while Parker attempts to help. Fury meets with Parker and gives him Stark's glasses, which were meant for his successor. The glasses are equipped with the artificial intelligence Edith, which has access to all databases of Stark Industries and commands a large orbital weapons supply. Beck claims the elementals killed his family and that he hails from a different reality, one among many in the multiverse. And it sucks that the multiverse was a lie.
Yeah, so like, disappointing.
Damn it. All right. Parker rejects Fury's call to arms, opting to rejoin his class, but Fury covertly redirects the school's trip itinerary to Prague, where the fire elemental is projected to strike. It appears at a carnival, but Beck, with Parker's help, destroys it. Fury and Hill invite Parker and Beck to Berlin to discuss the formation of a new superhero team. Parker considers Beck worthy of being Stark's successor and I can't say that word. Bequeaths, my bad, thank you. I took English, I swear. Bequeaths him the Edith glasses. Unbeknownst to him, Beck is revealed to be a former holographic illusion specialist at Stark Industries who was fired for his unstable nature and now leads a team of disgruntled ex-Stark employees and uses advanced projector drones to simulate the elemental attacks and masquerade as a hero.
Okay. I loved the reincorporation of these people that got screwed.
This was so cool because that the guy with the bald guy with the glasses, I didn't know this, but if you actually go back to the original Iron Man, he is in that one. They didn't just digitally add him to that scene.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay,
is that what they did with the other dude?
Which
Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah, I was gonna say Jake.
I know. So Jake Gyllenhaal, yes, was digitally added. The guy from the first Iron Man wasn't. Didn't they do a back or another?
I thought it was only those two that they.
It was just those two
clips.
that got like a backstory kind of thing. Yeah. Everyone else got a backstory, but they're the only two that had like a little clip or
flashback
scene.
clips.
Yeah.
I would have sworn there was one more.
No,
I'd have to see it again, but I think it was only those two.
Okay.
But I think it's so cool that he was actually in the first Iron Man, and they brought him back for this.
I know. I love that.
That was so cool.
That was a good, yeah.
Dude, when it like was shown that like Mysterio was still Mysterio, I'm like, thank you.
I know.
Because throughout the marketing, you're like, they're really making Mysterio a good guy. Like, really, Marvel, you're changing his whole character.
I know. But that's actually like part of his origin from the comics where he was faking being a hero to frame Spider-Man for some shit.
So it made complete sense.
It made complete sense, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it shows how great of an actor Jake Gyllenhaal is. Like, he was amazing in this role.
Dude, he killed it.
Yeah.
He really, even through the movie, you really think that, like you said, that he's actually going to end up being a good guy. Like, they are changing his origin. They're changing just that character entirely. So it was like, I mean, at some points after a certain point, I'm like, okay, this is like, after Peter left and it's still, the camera is still there waiting on him, that's when I was like, holy shit, he's a bad guy. Like, he's still bad, like, he's not a good guy. So he did do a great job.
Yeah, that didn't click until like after like everything disappeared. And,
yeah, exactly.
He's like, see, that wasn't so hard.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit. Okay.
Dude, like when shit was like starting to disappear, I was like, he was even like, what the shit?
Yeah.
And then like I was like, but then everything, like, more and more stuff kept disappearing, and I'm like, yes! Love it!
So good. All right. MJ deduces Parker is Spider-Man. They discover that... Yeah. She was 67% sure, wasn't it? I think it was 67.
She figured it out like a long
60,
time
40?
ago.
What?
Did she say it was like 60-40?
Yeah, I think so. They discover that a piece of debris she retrieved during the carnival battle is a projector that presents a simulation of the air elemental, leading the two to realize Beck is a fraud. Parker travels to Berlin and meets with Fury, only to realize that the version before him is an illusion created by Beck. This was like a trippy scene. It was also like really sad.
Oh, dude.
Like towards the ending.
That was so awesome, though.
Oh my gosh.
Just like how at the end he's just like, for what it's worth, Peter, I really am sorry.
Oh.
Just, bam,
dude, I
gets hit by a
jumped.
train.
I actually jumped at that part.
I did too a little bit.
Like,
yeah.
holy crap.
Dude, like, that whole sequence
was
is
trippy.
exactly. Oh,
that was amazing.
But that's how he works.
That's like exactly what I wanted. That's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
But, like, because I've played. Oh, shit! It's not. Which game was it? Shattered Dimensions. You fight Mysterio.
Yeah.
And I've replayed that level like multiple times because of how much I love just the trippiness of Mysterio. And they portrayed that on freaking point.
They really did.
Like, oh my gosh. Like, I loved it. Like, I even loved how with Mysterio, like where he had Mary or MJ.
Yeah.
And was holding her, and he's like, "This isn't real," and he's like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Oh!" Like, I freaking geeked out hard. I was like, "No, you don't, Spidey!"
All right. He battles multiple illusions before Fury apparently subdues Beck. Fury forces Parker to reveal anyone he told of the deception before being revealed as another illusion. Ultimately hit by a train, Parker survives, albeit badly injured, and falls unconscious in a train car. Awakening in a jail cell in the Netherlands, he breaks out and contacts Happy Hogan. I'm just going to say Happy. I don't like they say Hogan. Contacts Happy, who flies Parker to London and reveals a suit manufacturing machine left behind by Stark, which Parker uses to synthesize a customized costume. I love the new suits so much.
I love that too.
I like it so much better than the Homecoming one.
Okay, real quick. Did either of you also fall for Nick Fury taking down Mysterio?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
Because I 100% did. And I was just like, are you shitting me? Like, I was thinking, okay, he's going to go to jail. Someone's going to break him out. This, that. And then as soon as, like, Nick Fury started, like, questioning him about who he told, I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's where I was like, this can't be real. Like, why? But then after, like, it's not till he's, like, you know, saying how gullible he is. I was like, oh, crap.
Yeah, see, it didn't click until he said, you are so gullible. I'm like, oh, shit.
But
when he's just, like, asking, like, who he told, I still thought it was Fury.
And that's the beauty of Mysterio as a character and as a villain, because and Caleb, you'll probably be able to correct me if I'm wrong, but he's, like, one of the few where his spidey senses don't exactly work, at least in the comics, they don't exactly work so great with him because of all the illusions. I don't think they work at all. There's very few villains that, like, actually render a lot of his abilities kind of useless. Like,
so I know Venom does not trigger his spider sense.
Is it Venom or Carnage? Because I know Carnage doesn't.
I don't think it's. I think it's any of the symbiotes.
Okay.
I don't think any of them trigger his spider sense. Okay. But Mysterio is definitely one of the villains that it's really hard for him to figure out because with his spider sense, because there's also, like, they're robotics that have, like, projections over it. So it's things that can actually cause him harm that he's trying to avoid.
Right.
And it's so it's like him trying to jump out of the way of stuff that can really hurt him, but he thinks he's jumping over, like, I don't know, like a snake, but he's really jumping over just like a robotic.
It's like wearing those virtual reality things, those virtual reality goggles, and like analogy. Trying, like, if on there they show that there's something you got to step over, but there's nothing there, or there actually is. You know what I mean? Like, that's exactly what I thought of. But what I like about this is that, again, same thing with, like, thinking that was Nick Fury. Hell, that, like, threw my spidey senses off because I'm thinking it actually was, and it's not until it's too late that you realize, holy shit, this isn't real. Like, this is another illusion. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of gets your defenses down.
Don't you mean your Peter Tingle?
My Peter Tingle, yes.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to start calling it that from now on.
Mysterio, he is actually might be in my top 3 Spider-Man villains.
He might have beat Vulture for me.
He totally
I
beat
think
Vulture
he did.
for me.
I think he did for me too.
In terms of like the movie from what's been shown in the movies, or are you saying just like in general?
For me, it's in general, but from what, like, even in the movies, I think he's definitely top 3 for me.
Honestly, because I'd read some like comics with Mysterio, but this was like my first like full introduction to this character. And after seeing this, like, I'd honestly say, like, yeah, he's in my top 3 too.
Yeah,
he is just intimidating as hell.
He really is.
And he's like that throughout the entire movie. Anytime you think that, oh, like Spidey's got him or these people got him, he just twists it on you, and it's just, so good. So freaking good.
All right. In London, Beck uses Edith to orchestrate his biggest illusion yet, a fusion of all 4 elementals, using it as cover to kill MJ and any others to whom she might have revealed his secret. Parker breaks through the illusion, regains control of Edith, and defeats Beck, who dies by a misfired drone gunshot. Parker returns to New York City and begins a relationship with MJ.
I personally wish that they would not have killed Mysterio.
I do too.
Well, hold on. I think he's still alive. The reason I say that is, what's that?
How?
So, what does he tell? I think the guy's name's Bill, right? The bald guy.
I think it is Bill.
I think it's Bill. Sure. But anyways, he tells them when he's like saying how he's trying to like get the monster or whatever, the elemental back on, or the hologram back on. He's like, it's gonna be really hard to like, sell this. And he tells him, the people are gonna see what I want them to see. And what do they see at the end of the movie? They see him die. They see him like make Spider-Man out to be a bad guy. So they're gonna see what I want them to see. That's where my head is at. I'm thinking he's still alive somewhere. He might be injured, but I think he's still alive. And also, Peter, when he's standing there, he says, he just asks Edith, is this real? He doesn't ask. Now, here's the difference, because I thought this the first time I saw it. I'm thinking of Tony, like, think of like Civil War when Rhodey falls from the sky. He asks for, what's it called? Like a health scan or whatever. Or diagnostic, anyways. But he doesn't ask that. He asks, is this real? And all Edith says is, all illusions are or all illusion drones are down, or whatever she says, something along those lines. She doesn't say that his, his heart rate, that he still has a heartbeat or anything like that. She just says that the illusions are down. Doesn't mean that he's dead. Doesn't mean that he's alive. I think he might still be alive. He's just kind of
breath for quite a long time then.
Huh?
Interesting.
And he can hold his breath for quite a long time then.
Well, I mean, but he didn't ask. He didn't ask if he's breathing. He just asked, "Is this real?"
That's true.
He didn't ask anything about, and that's something that I can see them like. Because think about it: if you're 16 versus like Tony Stark, who has already had a little bit of experience now with all that stuff when he was using all that. Like I said, with Rhodey, he asks like for his, he's asking if he's got a pulse. Yeah, his vital signs. Thank you. That's the word. Peter doesn't ask that. He just asks, is this real? I mean,
shit, that's a good point.
He didn't ask what are the vital signs. That would have been my first thing, like, Edith, what are the vital signs? Because that would tell you if he's alive or not. They left that part out, and I think they did that. Hopefully, this is just in hopes that they're going to bring Mysterio back as a much bigger and important villain later on down the road.
I hope
they do too. Yeah, because I want to see Jake Gyllenhaal back so much as this character.
Dude, if they did like their own Sinister Six, like obviously, like the third one, they're going to try and throw the Craven in.
Yeah,
supposedly.
That's John Watts' hope.
Yeah, if they are able to build a Sinister Six around an amazing Craven, Vulture, and Mysterio.
That would be amazing. Oh, that would be wonderful.
So that is
cool.
actually
That'd
something
amazing.
This is actually like a theory of mine that I have been wanting to share because I listen to other podcasts as well, and they've kind of mentioned Far From Home, and this is a theory of mine that I have like been wanting to like share with anybody. So I'm glad I get to share it on here with you guys. You heard it first.
That is an amazing theory.
That is very good.
Because they did use a lot of wordplay in this movie. Because so even with Nick Fury, they kind of gave away that he wasn't really Nick Fury in the beginning.
What part?
So there's a scene where it's near the beginning when Nick Fury's explaining who Quentin is.
Yeah.
And he's saying like, okay, so Quentin's from another Earth, and then in the trailers he says just not ours. They changed the line in the movie, and he says just not yours.
Ooh, see, I didn't catch that.
I didn't either.
Mm-hmm.
You go,
I
Caleb.
caught that on. No, I caught that on. So I caught it on Pinterest. It was like kind of a spoiler, like something to pay attention to.
Yeah.
And so when that was like they said, pay attention to this scene and what he says, and then I watched the scene and I was like, okay, there's no big deal. And then I went and watched the trailer of him saying that, and he says just not ours, and in the movie he says just not yours.
So do either of you know the answer to this? Because in Captain Marvel he says everybody calls him Fury, but Maria Hill always calls him Nick. Now, is that because they were the Skrulls? And she's not really playing by those same rules as if it was this actual Nick Fury? Or is Maria Hill an exemption to that?
I gotta like go back and
Unless
watch
Mariah
all the other.
Hill has always been a Skrull.
Okay, don't F with my mind like that.
Let's stick to Spider-Man. We'll stick to Spider-Man then.
Yeah.
One
I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch watch all of Kobe Smolder's appearances in the MCU and see what she always calls Fury.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure she says
calls him Nick.
Fury.
Well, a couple times she says Fury, but there's times where she just calls him Nick.
Huh.
If you go back, you'll hear that like she calls him Nick.
Because Coulson always calls him boss, right?
Yeah. Coulson always said boss.
But he's not in Far From Home. Let's stick to
Widow always said Fury.
Yeah, true. I don't know now, but
yeah, but they use a lot of wordplay in this, and that's definitely something that I want to pay attention to next time I go see it.
Yeah.
To see if like they dealt, like obviously I don't remember them talking about the vitals.
I don't know.
So
they don't.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They don't. It's
Holy
just
shit.
he's just asking about the illusions and the illusion tech.
The last thing that I think we need to talk about is the end when it was revealed that Talos is actually playing Nick Fury.
Yeah, and then his wife is playing Maria Hill.
And then they contact the real Nick Fury, who's in space.
Yep.
So is this our like because Kevin Feige already talked about what the future was going to be like with the Avengers being in space. So is that just like a little sneak peek of what is to come?
I would think so.
Yeah, I would think so as well.
But also
I wish they would have thrown something in.
But if you
just something for us to see, like Avengers related.
But if you think about it too, I mean, even in the comics, they always say Nick Fury's got so many different hiding spots. So it could just be one of those. Just another hideout for him. But I'm hoping for, you know, what you said, that it's a sneak peek of what's to come.
Like I told Caleb when we were coming out of the movie, too bad it won't be the original 6 Avengers in space. And cry.
I'm excited to see what future holds.
I am too.
I'm especially excited to see what freaking Spider-Man does.
Right?
Now that he's been unmasked.
Can we just talk about how thankful I'm assuming Vic is too, that J.
Jonah Jameson, yeah.
Yes, that J.K. Simmons came back to play him.
I literally
Oh
clapped
my
and
gosh.
and yelled when that happened. That was probably one of my
squealed
favorite.
like a little girl.
Oh yeah. And
I did too.
what's going to be interesting too, though, is like this Spider-Man is going to be totally different than the other ones, because the Daily Bugle was always a like a newspaper article kind of thing. Now it's more of like an internet news article or news whatever. But he's not gonna, now that his identity is revealed, he's not gonna work for them. So like I'm just wondering how they're gonna play out the rest of his story, because he's not gonna work for the Daily Bugle. He's not gonna be.
He very well could. What I'm thinking that they might do is just kind of to incorporate Vulture again. Is maybe Vulture goes and says something about him, Mysterio lying.
Yeah.
And then he's kind of uses that and says, okay, now me and Spidey are even.
I mean,
and then maybe like it's his testimony that's kind of turns people or puts doubt in people's mind. And then that's just enough for Peter to use to kind of twist it so people think that he's not.
I think that would feel like a stretch, but I mean,
they could also use that to incorporate Miles.
Yeah, well,
that's
true.
What if Miles, like he meets up with Miles gets his powers, and then he's like, I have an idea, and then he goes out in public, everyone's just like, oh look, Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And then they're like, hey, are you Spider-Man? And then Miles comes swinging by in his Spider-Man suit. And then they're like, well, shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a bit of a like cluster, but it's plausible as well.
Yeah, like I said, it's a stretch.
Especially if they wanted to bring Miles into it.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
supposed to put that on silent.
I know.
Shame.
So is this part? Is this where are we going to be grading the story then at this point? Or we're
yes.
Okay.
Yep. So where are we all sitting at?
I'm in the 90s.
I am too.
I think I'm in the 90s.
I'm in the mid to high 90s, and I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible. I really, really am.
I'm too, but the story's just so good.
Well, yeah, yeah, and I mean, I don't want to say like 100, but I would say like a 96, 97.
I'm trying to think of if there were any issues I had with the story. Yeah, because I'm trying to just think this one through.
I mean, one thing I like is like it makes him out to be the bad guy now, and that's how he isn't. Again, for the longest time, he's like J. Jonah Jameson is always out to get Spider-Man. Like he's a bad guy, he's a menace. He turns people against him, and I like that. I'm excited to see what like the next Spider-Man's gonna be like, where people don't like him or trust him. So I like that how they threw all that in there.
Yeah, that one's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where they take that.
There's not really anything about this story that I don't like.
Yeah, same here.
Or that I can like pick out something that just didn't fit. Everything kind of really like fit really well. Like how Peter was just kind of like more or less going through like post-traumatic stress and just wanting to take a break from the superhero deal, but having to be pulled into it again.
Yeah.
All that made sense to me.
Absolutely.
Him trying to win over MJ and taking on or becoming Iron Man's protege, and all this other stuff, like all of it fit really well. There was nothing that didn't. The only thing that I think was just more super convenient bullshit was the suit building thing in the jet.
Yeah.
Other
I'll
than
give you
that, I
that.
had like zero issues with
Yeah.
the story. I'm thinking 95 too.
That's what I'm sitting at.
Okay.
95.
All right.
You cool with that, Vic?
Yeah, I'll give that one to you.
Okay.
All right, cool. 95.
If it wants to work for you. There we go.
Yep. All right, writing. This was also pretty.
It's very strong.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit below the story because of the Ned and Betty relationship. It was funny,
They kind of keep it like,
but
yeah, they kind of keep it awkward.
You can hear babes as so many times before it starts getting annoying.
yeah. So
Say 92, 93.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
I'm sitting at 90. I can go 92.
Okay.
I can too. Ha.
Because I think the writing is great. I agree with you. Like some of like the kid scenes, like, you know, where they're kind of being awkward teens. It seemed a little forced in some parts, but
Yeah. Agreed.
so
So the scene, like the one that I felt was like really, really awkward was actually the most awkward of all of the scenes was when Spider-Man's getting his new stealth suit and the guy comes in and he's like, oh, and takes a picture of him. That was so weird.
Well, I mean, if he liked MJ too, I mean, it's kind of like the perfect moment to be like, hey, look at what kind of person Peter Parker is.
Yeah.
He just, like sleeps with anybody that he finds.
Yeah, but it also felt really freaking weird that he's just like,
I think that was kind
oh,
of,
hey.
I think that was kind of the point
yeah.
for it to feel weird.
Okay, fair enough.
So we're saying,
Just because it was written that way doesn't mean I'd like it.
so we're saying 92.
Yeah, I think we're going to go with 92. All right, moving on to acting. So we split it up into 6 different categories, or 6 different people. So first off, obviously, Tom Holland is Spider-Man. Then Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio
/ Quentin Beck.
/ Quentin Beck. Zendaya as MJ. Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. Jon Favreau as Happy Hogan, and Jacob Batalon as Ned. So, let's start off with Tom Holland.
I want to give him 100 so bad.
I
would be okay with
I
that.
actually would too.
Right?
But you know what? I would almost be willing to like give him and Jake Gyllenhaal about the same because both of those guys did awesome.
I'm the same way.
Because Jake Gyllenhaal for the longest time I thought was gonna actually be a good guy.
Yeah, they were both spectacular.
They were absolutely incredible. Spider-Man, like this actually feels like a Spider-Man that I can relate
Oh, yeah.
to.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Like, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man seemed a little too cool guy.
Yeah.
And then Tobey Maguire just seemed like a 40-year-old in high school.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'll give you that one.
And like super smart and everything. And Tom Holland's Peter Parker and Spider-Man he is really smart, but he's also really nerdy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely
And
gets
he's
both
like,
of them.
Kind of a geek.
Yeah.
He's geeking out to a Quentin about like the multiverse and everything. He's like, sorry, it's just like really
Yeah.
cool. Like all this stuff. I love how Quentin's like never apologized for being the smartest person in the room. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So I mean, would you?
So I really liked his portrayal.
Yeah. Like I said, I almost want to give them both about the same score because they both did
I think
great.
Caleb wrote down. Looks like we're giving both of them 100.
I'm 100% fine with that.
Yeah. So yeah, Tom Holland, his Spider-Man is just awesome. Fair, like quippy.
Yeah.
And I love that. And he's like smart.
Yeah. I know
he
like,
has all the stuff that I've read about.
Right.
Yeah, like I know a lot of people love to argue, oh, Tobey Maguire is the best Spider-Man just because he was the original. Yeah, he was the original, but that doesn't make him the best one.
Right.
To me, Tom Holland is the closest we've ever had to the comic books, which I love. He's the right age. He knows this character. He's even said he'll play this character till the day he can't walk anymore. And I am perfectly fine with that.
Dude, if they do that, they can even do the Old Man Deadpool and Old Man Spidey comic,
Right?
where
Go.
Spider-Man's swinging in a
Oh my
wheelchair.
gosh, that'd be awesome.
That would be amazing. But yeah, I love Tom Holland so much as Spider-Man. He's my all-time favorite Spider-Man. I literally every time I see him, I just love him on screen.
Yeah.
He's just spectacular.
Yeah, his acting's very on point with with that character. So I agree. Shoot some.
Like I said, everything you want in Spider-Man and Peter Parker, Tom Holland portrays perfectly.
For sure.
Yes, absolutely.
So, like I said, I think we all agree we're willing to give him 100.
Yes,
I'm willing to give him and Jake Gyllenhaal 100.
I am too.
Yeah. So Jake Gyllenhaal, now, he was everything you'd want Mysterio to be.
Mm-hmm.
He was intimidating. He had the fishbowl.
Yeah, right? A lot more than I thought he would.
Dude, that was something I did not think we would get to see.
I didn't think they could pull it off, but they really did.
Oh my gosh. I loved it. Like, even when he wasn't, when he was just Quentin Beck
Yeah,
and was doing, all the illusion stuff from the bridge,
yeah.
he even had, that bowl.
Yeah.
And I really liked that, that he was controlling everything, that he wasn't putting himself in any real danger, that he was, getting ready, okay, now it's time to get ready and switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did really appreciate that he was literally in a motion cap suit.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
That was way cool. So, I think we can all agree, Jake Gyllenhaal, 100.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Moving on to Zendaya as MJ.
I like where she's taking the character.
Yeah.
A little bit. She's definitely making it her own.
Yeah.
I kind of like this rendition.
I do too.
I'm not a big fan.
No, I actually don't
think I
mind
like-
it. It's taken a little bit, but I think my second time around seeing this movie, I actually do like where like Rose said. I like where she's taking it.
I don't like all the dark shit. Yeah, she can be nerdy and really, interested in, the historic stuff of, the bridges that they were at or the cities that they were in. But the reasons that she liked that shit was weird.
Yeah, I mean, I think Peter's gonna kind of bring out the more, I guess you could say, girly side that we're used to seeing for MJ, but
That's true. Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get the MJ from the comics in this one.
No,
I think
and I
this
don't
one
think
is
we
the
should.
Kristen Dunst. Or
yeah,
is it Kristen?
Yeah,
Kirsten
it's
Dunst.
Kirsten Dunst.
Kirsten? Okay. So, yeah. She was the most comic book accurate MJ, because MJ was supposed to be an actress, or
Yeah, you're right, an actress.
an aspiring actress, or a supermodel.
Yeah.
This one, I think, they're going to take the reporter route. Kind of like what we got in Spider-Man PS4.
The Spider-Man PS4 is honestly my favorite MJ we've ever had.
Oh, me too.
I love her in that game.
Yeah. So I think that's the MJ we're going to get.
I'm
from
totally
her.
fine with that.
Yeah. So I'm not putting her up with Tom Holland.
I wouldn't either.
I think her acting is a little awkward. And I think that's just how she's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But it's also overly awkward, I feel, at times.
Do you
Yeah.
still feel like she's kind of acting like she's still on Disney Channel?
A little bit.
Okay.
I still get very Disney Channel vibes from her.
I'll give
And
you
I
that.
still don't know what it is, but she bugs the shit out of me. But she seems so cool.
Yeah, she's like one of the nicest people you
Yeah.
can meet.
I know. And then maybe I'm just an asshole and
I
don't
think
like
you're
positive
just an
people.
asshole. Yeah. I think you're just an
I agree.
asshole.
I agree.
So, what are you thinking for a grade?
I'm at like an 80.
80?
Yeah.
That's around where I was sitting at.
I could.
What about you, Vic?
I'd be okay with an 80. I can maybe be talked up to like 85.
I'm not going to.
Yeah, I think I would sit at just 80.
Okay, that's fine. I'm saying that I can probably be convinced to give that score,
I get
but
ya.
I would be more at an
Okay.
80. Yeah.
Right. Okay, moving on to Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury.
Fantastic as always.
Yeah.
This is a tough one.
Yeah.
Because I'm supposed to grade him like Talos playing Nick Fury.
That's true,
So,
but it's not actually him. That's
so
true.
it's kind of like you're grading Ben Mendelsohn playing Samuel L. Jackson.
Exactly. And I think he did a really good job.
He really did.
No,
he
yeah,
really
he
did.
did.
I think he's definitely better than Zendaya.
Oh,
But
is that even
a
like
little,
a question?
well, because I was
Well,
thinking,
keep
like,
in mind too, he's been there. Keep in mind that Talos has been there since the '90s, for all we know.
True.
Just dressed as somebody else or any one of the other Shield agents that's always been around.
Okay,
Nick
now that they've
Fury
introduced
and
now that they've introduced them into the MCU, like it's trippy thinking that like, oh, where could they have been this whole time? Like, oh, were they that Shield member? Were they that Avenger? Like, what's real anymore?
yeah,
I don't like it.
so, yeah, I'm thinking around 85.
that's actually the number I was thinking too.
Yeah?
I would give you that too.
Yeah.
Because I feel, like I said, he's definitely better than Zendaya, but he also had that awkwardness. It didn't really feel like Nick. Like, that's what my whole thing was. Like, if this was Nick Fury, I would have said, like, he doesn't feel like Nick Fury, but he's not. This is irritating me because he did a really good job at portraying not Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jon Favreau as Happy Hogan.
He did really good.
I think he's been pretty consistent.
Yeah, I've never had a problem with his performance.
The Aunt May relationship came out of frickin' nowhere.
I feel bad though because he's like, "Oh yeah, we're dating," and she's like, "No, it's kind of just like a summer fling. It's on and off. We don't really know where it's going." But
yeah, clearly nobody else in that room has talked about it. So
she's like, "Whatever happens, we'll still be friends." I'm like, I feel bad for you, Happy.
I know. I was just like, oh, damn.
Loving the Blit beard though.
The Blit beard.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
So what are we thinking for him? Because I think he's a little bit below Zendaya.
Really?
A little bit. I mean, yes, he didn't have the same amount of screen time as her.
I don't know if I want to rate Jon Favreau lower than an 80. Because he still was really good.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I'm going off of quality of his, I mean, even in Iron Man, like, he's just kind of a he's kind of that comic relief.
Yeah.
Kind of supposed to. Okay. I think you guys talked me up. So what?
So, I mean,
I'll do whatever
he's
you
meant
two
to
agree
be
on.
I would put him a little I don't know. Would you guys put him a little higher than Zendaya?
What did we give Zendaya? I'm thinking 85.
So the same as Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah.
Up to you.
I can agree with that. As much as I love Jon Favreau and I think he did a great job in this movie.
Yeah.
I can give him an 85.
All right, I guess we're giving them an 85.
If she was included, I could honestly probably give Marissa Tomei that same score. Maybe a little lower.
I'd say a little lower.
It's like 83, would you
Yeah.
say? Okay. If we did include her.
If we did, but we're not.
Yeah.
Okay, lastly, Jacob Batalone as Ned.
So I thought it was interesting that he, like had a relationship with, wasn't it Betty? I think it would have been really cool if we could have seen him as a bachelor in like Italy trying to pick up girls and everything. That would have been really funny to see Ned trying to do that.
Yeah, I think that would have been really funny. I really like that they didn't do that.
I am too.
Because it just, the way that he was talking, like, we're going to be bachelors, and then he comes off the plane with a girlfriend.
It's like, I was a boy on the plane. I am now a man, Peter.
I kind of want to go lower than Zendaya for him, though. Like, just, if not the same, maybe a little bit lower.
I'm okay with that.
I am too.
What, like, how much lower are we talking?
I'm thinking like 77.
Yeah, I'd give you that.
I could give you that too.
That's being nice. If I wanted to, I'd say maybe 75.
He was a lot better in the first one. Or in Homecoming.
Yeah.
Okay. So, giving him a 77, that brings our acting grade to an 87.8. Which I think is fair.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to character development. I think we're going to go with who had the best arc. Or the most significant one. Spidey.
Yeah.
I was going to joke around and say Ned, but...
I was trying to think of like a character that'd be even funnier than that, but I couldn't think of one.
J. Jonah Jameson.
There you go. Or you could honestly say MJ. She had somewhat, not really.
Not really.
Yeah, I know. It'd more so be a funny joke.
Yeah. But it's definitely between Spidey and Mysterio.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give it to Spidey.
I am too, because Mysterio still turns out to be a bad guy. He was just putting on a whole
I was gonna
act.
say. I mean, he just had his. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So Spidey. So this is just for this movie, not talking about Homecoming or Civil War.
Right.
So he started out with this, just kind of doing his Spider-Man duties, but wanting to take a break from it with this vacation, and then just kind of realizing that Spider-Man isn't something like it isn't a job.
Yeah.
That you can take a vacation from.
He's not really friendly neighborhood Spider-Man anymore.
Yeah,
he's definitely gone past that.
He's the Avenger Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys, but I loved how towards like the ending, when he's on the plane with Happy, he's just like shows how amazing Tom Holland's acting is, and how he's like saying like everyone wants me to be the next Iron Man, but I just don't know if I can do it. I don't feel I'm up for it. I'm a 16-year-old kid. Like, how can I do this?
Yeah.
He did a really good job with that. And I think near the end, he's like what Happy says, like he doesn't want you to be the next Iron Man. You need to be the next, or you need to be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I think that's when he kind of faces the fact that he has to be Spider-Man all the time. There's no quitting or taking a break when someone needs your help. So, and then he gets his own suit and everything, and creates that, and puts all the cool features on it and whatnot. And I really liked how they did that.
I did too.
Like, I even really liked the conversation he was having with Mysterio. Like, that little heart-to-heart.
Yeah, that was really good. Like, how he's just like, I know this makes me sound like a jerk, but I literally just wanted to come on vacation, hang out with my friends, and, tell the girl that I really like that, I want to spend time with her. I didn't plan on having to save the world, and it's not something I want to do. Like, I didn't even pack my suit. My aunt snuck it into my bag. Like, I had no plans at all being Spider-Man on this trip.
And I liked how it was a lot of just struggling with that.
Yes.
And then also having to deal with Iron Man basically naming him his heir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not only that, like losing somebody that people are kind of thinking Iron Man might be taking the role of Uncle Ben for him.
That's what I'm thinking.
In this
it definitely
MCU,
felt
but
like that.
yeah.
So, I almost wish that he would have broken Edith or not kept Edith.
How come?
Because with the Spider-Man that I know, he's always kind of been his own person. He's always done his own thing. He's never been an Avenger. Like, he's come and helped the Avengers. He's teamed up with them. Like, and all this other stuff. But he's always been just Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He's never been the Avenger Spider-Man. He's
kind of
never
like
been
a lone wolf Spider-Man.
Yeah, like he's just kind of been like a freelance superhero.
Yeah.
And I wish that they would have continued that, where he's like, I don't have to take on Iron Man, or I don't have to become the next Iron Man. I'm just going to be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then he just gets his suit, and that's that. And like, then I would like to have seen him kind of have his own little workshop.
That would have been cool. I just hope they keep this new suit, because I love this new suit so much.
I think they're going to change it around a little bit.
Damn it.
But I do see them keeping the suit. I think it's just going to get upgraded.
Idea. Okay, as long as they keep the general idea of the suit alive, then I'll be okay.
Right. Yeah, I really liked how, like, that's something that I wish that they would have taken that turn.
Yeah.
But we obviously didn't get it.
No.
So
but
what did you think about, like, with how his development was?
Overall, I loved the development that they gave Peter with this.
Sorry, I didn't pick you up first.
No, you're good. No, you can go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I think that you guys kind of hit the nail on the head with that, where, you know, you see that change. It's very, like, it's reluctant still, but you see him, like, kind of accepting the, you know, his role as not just a Spider-Man, not just as, you know, I guess you could say the next Tony Stark or the next head of the Avengers kind of thing, sort of thing. But just realizing, like you said, like, it's not his, like, his is not a job that can be taken a break from. You know what I mean? Like, you can't take a break from it. You know, Nick Fury gives his own rendition, or I guess technically Tony gives his own rendition of, you know, with great responsibility, or great power comes great responsibility, and, you know, it's uneasy lies the head that wears the crown kind of thing. You know, so it's like he's definitely uneasy. He's definitely reluctant, but he's taking that on, and he's kind of realizing that, but it's a hard pill to swallow kind of thing.
Would you say with great power comes great responsibility? Would you say it's when Fury is like, you got gifts, Parker. It's up to you to decide if you use them or how you use them or something like that?
More or less, yeah. Okay. I'd like to hear him get that from somewhere.
I would too.
Because that is just an iconic saying of his.
How would you feel if it came from either Happy or Aunt May?
I wouldn't be upset at all if it came from Aunt May.
I think it would actually be a great character moment for Aunt May.
But you know what? Again, I think that's them using Tony Stark as, like, the Uncle Ben kind of figure, where it's like, because I mean, like I said, it came from Tony. It's not really Nick Fury telling him. That's kind of true. Like some last minute thing. Like, even Tony said you wouldn't get that because it's not a Star Wars quote, or it's not from Star Wars.
Yeah.
So it's like it still comes from him. Still comes from Tony, but.
So where are we sitting at with character development? Because I'm in the high 90s.
I am too.
Yeah.
It has to be in the 90s.
Absolutely.
Like a 95?
I think that there was a lot of struggle. Like, I don't think that they did all the potential that they could have taken him. I think he's still kind of like, I think what he did what he sought out to and filled kind of the Iron Man-ish role, but not obviously Iron Man. He's like doing his own Iron Man thing in his Spider-Man way. So I feel it maybe a little lower than 95 because I feel they could have taken him somewhere that was like full, like I'm not Iron Man, I'm Spider-Man.
93.
And this,
That's what I was gonna say.
that's around what I was thinking. Like I was going to say 92, but I could be talked up to 93.
I say we do 93.
93?
Yes.
Yeah.
Vic?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, moving on to music. So this one is graded out of 10. The music wasn't like super outstanding in this one.
No, it wasn't. Nothing really stuck out to me.
Yeah.
The ending song I thought was cool because it was Vacation.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool, and like the opening song was kind of funny.
That was.
That kind of like threw me through a loop. I'm like, wait, what the hell is going on? Oh, and then they show like the tribute to the fallen heroes. I'm like, okay, now it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm sitting around maybe an 8.
I'd give you that.
Okay.
What are you thinking?
Yeah, I could be talked up to 8.
Okay. Well. Yeah, because I think 7's just a little too harsh on something that's not quite outstanding. I think like 8 should be the baseline for something that's. It wasn't like awful, but it wasn't great.
Right.
Like nothing stuck out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree.
All right, going back to out of 100 with effects, and then you said you had issues with some.
So I had 2 problems with the effects. One was when it's Spider-Man Aunt May at that homeless shelter banquet or something, whatever they had.
Right.
The head of the Iron Spider looked off compared to the body. The body looked way too big for the head. So I wish they would have catched that in post-production because that just like bugged the hell out of me, and that's going to bug me every single time I watch the movie now. And then the other scene is when they're in Italy and Mysterio's fighting the water monster and Peter's trying to help out, but he forgot his Spidey costume, so he's just wearing the mask. But when it's just like Peter swinging in his regular clothes, I don't know if you guys caught this, but it looks some parts you could definitely tell it was like just CGI Peter.
No, yeah,
it didn't look like.
Agreed.
So I don't know. Those are really the only 2 moments that like stuck out to me. The others looked great. Everything else with Peter swinging looked fantastic.
Yeah.
So
what would
just for those 2 scenes, I would dock it.
So what would you grade it? Because I had those 2 exact, I guess you could say, problems with it. So I mean, what would you say? Because it sounds like you and me, Rose, are kind of sitting in the same.
Yeah.
Same boat.
I don't know. Like, I want to say like maybe in like the 70s is a little too harsh, or is it?
70s is still fairly good.
But the question is like, do those 2 scenes kill it that much?
I was gonna say I don't know that it kills it that much for me.
Yeah. I would maybe like the low 80s.
I'm just thinking like 75 with those 2, because there were some very rubbery looking scenes with Mysterio. Like, yes, it was absolutely badass, but they did have quite a bit of the rubbery looking Spider-Man in
really?
those. Yeah, because did you not notice with his homecoming suit, the sweatpants?
Yeah.
It looked like that was all CGI.
A lot of it. Yeah, I guess a lot of
that
did too.
Yeah,
I'll have to watch it again now.
I wouldn't be surprised
with
if that entire sequence was CGI.
Why does Marvel have to make the Spidey suit CGI? Is it really that hard to just make it? Or like put it like just on screen?
Well, I don't think that's their issue. I don't think their issue is putting it on screen. It's the movement.
Yeah.
Because Spider-Man has a very flexible, like,
true,
almost cartoony way of moving.
Yeah.
So I don't think that they can get Tom Holland to do that.
I mean, we've definitely come far away from how it looked in Civil War. At least there's that.
Very true.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking 75 ish.
I could honestly give it. I don't know, like a 78.
I can go to like 70.
7.
I was thinking 76.
I can give you a 76.
76?
Yeah. What do you
Vic?
say, Vic?
77. I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible. I feel like you guys are like messing with me now for the whole Captain America thing, but back for Endgame.
Maybe just a little bit. No, we would have done that with character
That's
development.
true. I guess you would have. Yeah, I guess I could see it being about that 77, like 76, 77. I'd go 76 if you guys outvoted me.
Yeah, Caleb put 76.
Okay.
Yep.
76 it is.
He can't be talked up to 77.
All right.
Asshole, what?
Hey, screw you. All right, next, this one's out of 10. Costumes. This one is pretty damn good.
It is.
Yeah.
The whole stealth suit, it looked way better in the movie than it did like in any promos or anything.
Oh, absolutely.
So my score went up from what it was originally before I saw the movie.
I especially liked the suit that he makes with the little like webbing under his arms, because that's like the old
really
dude. That's
cool.
like in the old comics, like how he's got that. I loved that. I thought that was really cool.
Well, that just the color scheme of that suit is a tribute to how he originally looks.
I love it so much.
The red and black, like that's originally how he was colored.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love it.
And then they threw in the blue later.
Yeah.
Have you played the?
I have not.
That suit, playing it in the new Spider-Man game, is just swinging around the city in that suit just makes me so damn happy. I could play that game for hours just swinging in that suit.
So what are we thinking?
Not
the only costume that I have an issue with is when he just threw the mask on. With what was it, Venice? What they were at?
Oh, like the whole Mardi Gras?
Yeah, the Mardi Gras. That's the only one that I have.
But I mean, like that's all he literally had on
I know,
him.
but I feel like he could grab something else. I think that was just more played for laughs.
Did, like with the stealth suit, did like the eyes, like how they like popped up, did that look weird to anybody else?
It looked a little weird.
I mean, I think they did that just so he doesn't have to show any of his face, trying to keep the, secrecy alive.
Yeah.
It felt very Catwoman-y.
It did. But considering, like, okay, so, like, the headpiece goes over, like, the ski mask. If it's kind of, like, that far off of his eyes, is it really still able to blink like that?
I mean, it could just be sensing his eyes.
Okay, that's a good point. All right, fine.
So,
I'm saying, like, a 9.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'd give it a 9, too.
All right. Lastly, our overall genre grade. So this was a superhero action movie, we decided. And I felt it fit really, really well.
Great superhero movie, great action.
Yeah, we got a lot of Spider-Man action that I didn't think that we'd ever be able to get to see. Like
what?
So remember the scene where he's like trying to keep that wall from falling, and he is running up, and he like jumps over and then jumps through the window, and then like jumps backwards through it, and then starts spinning his webs.
Yeah,
I loved that.
That was awesome.
And then just with him also like trying to keep the building up and sliding, and like issues that you would think Spider-Man would have, like not being able to get proper traction and slipping and hitting his face and shit.
So funny. Oh. Poor kid gets hit twice.
Yeah, so I loved that. And then like just the homages to other like comic book things with Mary Jane being on the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like obviously that was a Green Goblin thing first.
But still.
But you still got that like homage to it. Mysterio was just an amazing villain.
Yeah, I also liked how when it's Peter and Happy on the plane, when Happy's sewing him up, how he's like, "Well, wait, I thought you had super strength." He's like, "It still hurts."
Yeah.
I like how they pointed out. Yeah, I like how they point out that no, Peter Parker is not invincible. Shit still hurts him.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved all of that. Like you said, he still gets hurt. Like he's still relatable in this.
He's he's one of probably the top 3 most relatable superheroes there are in the comics.
Absolutely. So I'm 100% comfortable giving this a high 90.
I am too.
Yeah.
95. Because I think this
I don't know. I could be talked up higher.
Talk you up to 97?
I'm fine with a 95. Yeah, can we? 96.
I think I can do 96.
Okay.
Right.
We tried, Vic.
All right. 96. And that brings our final score to a B+.
Wow.
A very, very strong B+.
I would honestly say it should be a soft A-.
What's
That's just me.
the actual score?
89.
Ooh.
89.35. So just 1 point and it would be an A-. Actually, less than 1 point and it would be an A-.
This might be the first time I actually disagree with our score. I'm sorry.
Even
I think
the percentage?
Yeah.
Because I think the percentage is spot on.
I don't know. I think it deserves an A-, dude. Like, I'm sorry. I know this is what we gave it, but I don't know. This is the first time
we don't make the rules.
I know we don't.
Just enforce
this is the first time this is the first time I disagree with an all bro score. I'm sorry. I think this movie deserves to be an A-.
I do too, but the effects, dude. The effects are
Yeah,
what
the
killed
effects
it.
kill it. Okay, just for shits and giggles, I'm not saying we do change it, but if you bump up the effects to like a 77 or a 78.
78? All right,
Yeah.
let's see. It puts it to an 89.6, so it's still a B+.
Okay, never mind.
So it's well deserved.
You would have to bump. You would have to bump. Yeah, you would have to bump the effects up
like an
significantly.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm comfortable doing that. Like
I'll
what?
give you that.
What is so B+? So B+ is a 90 would be an A-. So it is seriously less than 1 point away from being an A-.
I can't remember what Rotten Tomatoes gave it. I'm gonna see really quick.
We might have been harsh.
Yeah, I think so because it was like in the high 90s. I think if I remember.
It's an exact 90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh my gosh, we're 1 point off. Less than 1 point off.
Okay.
We're spot freaking on.
Okay. All right, I'm a little more forgiving now. Audience score though is 96.
Okay, so that's probably what I was.
Well, yeah.
That's probably the score I was thinking of. Then was the audience, not the critic.
Dude, that's what we gave the genre grade.
Oh shit, that's funny.
So you may disagree with it. I don't. I think we're spot.
I think it's well deserved. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. It's a great sequel.
It is an amazing sequel.
And I just really hope that John Watts comes back for the third one.
Oh, please. And please make Kraven amazing. Because I love Kraven.
I don't know a lot about the character, but I'll probably read up on him if they do decide to make him the main baddie of this next movie.
Yeah, I want to do reading on him more just because.
I want to do more reading on Mysterio now. I really want to dive into that character a lot more.
So, like we said, the final grade was a B+, sitting less than a single point away from being an A-. But we don't make the rules. I mean, it is our show, and we do create everything that we do on here, but we don't make the rules.
As much as to Rose's dismay.
Yeah. So, I believe that concludes this week's episode.
I believe it does.
Yeah, so next week, actually, I'll get into that later. So if you like this episode, want to check out more, you can subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Radio Public, this new radio.com app thing, I think. Maybe I haven't actually checked if we're up there yet. We're also on Spotify. All of our content also gets released on YouTube. And new videos will be headed your way very, very soon.
Yeah, we actually mean it this time.
Yeah. I mean, we say that every week, but this time it's actually true.
We're 99% sure.
Yeah. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/The Allbros or on Twitter and Instagram. Just search for our handle at The Allbros. If you have something you want us to discuss in the next episode or a movie we should see, be sure to email us at theallbroschannel@gmail.com, or you can fill out our form on our website, which is tinyurl.com/theallbros. Next week is episode 75 of the podcast, so we decided to do something a little special. So we're doing a showdown next week of all the Avengers Endgame Funko Pops that we know of. Is it all of them?
I think it is. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so it's all of them.
If we didn't catch one, whoops.
Yeah. So we are going to be releasing a video of our showdown happening, and we hope we can get it set up decent.
Yeah.
But yeah, so our question of the week for that, what's your favorite Endgame Funko Pop?
Yeah, there we go.
And I think I already know your answer, Vic. FYE Thor.
Excellent choice.
Hell yeah. So yeah, look forward to that next week. And until then, oh shit. Sorry. I dropped my pen.
He also stabbed himself.
A little bit. What was I saying? We're signing off.
Yeah.
Until then, this has been the All Bros podcast featuring Crash and Taz's movie seller.
Thank you guys for having me on. I do.
Yeah, so tell us where the people can find you.
So you can catch myself and my co-host Taz or Roger. You can catch us on Anchor, Spotify, Stitcher, Breaker, Google Podcasts, a few other ones.
iTunes?
Not yet. I am still kind of working on all of that. It's kind of tough because I do like as far as the recording goes and social media, I kind of take care of everything. So it's just kind of a big load. We can actually be contacted on Instagram. It's Crash and Taz Movie Seller with underscores in between each word, and it's Crash the letter N Taz Movie Seller for Instagram. And we actually just recently got on Twitter, so I just finally jumped on board the Twitter train, and we're on there as Crash and Taz Movie Seller. And so I mean, really, we take suggestions as well. I'm actually gonna let Crash. I'm gonna let Taz know about the which one did you say? Big. We're gonna talk about doing Big on an episode, so I think we'll have to look into that one. That'll be a fun one. I really enjoyed that movie when I was a kid. But yeah, that's how we can be how we can be listened to and reached. We definitely have some backlogged episodes as well, so definitely don't need to hear any of the any old ones to know what we're talking about, because each episode is a new episode. So yeah.
Very nice. All right, well, be sure to go subscribe to them and us while you're at it.
Yeah.
And until next time, I'm Caleb.
And I'm Jonathan.
I'm Vic. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted me in that sign off, but yeah, I'm Vic.
We want all our guests in all of our sign offs.
Yes.
Which we should have specified before we started, but
There you go.
Live and learn.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.
Deuces.
Au revoir. That was awful.
What the shit was that?
I don't know. I was trying to make Herbert sound French. It didn't really go so well.
No, it did not.
Work on it for next week.
All right. Whatever.